Okay, so Madhav, you're from Jaipur, right?
Yes.
So tell me something unique about Jaipur you like.
So there are many unique things about Jaipur. Firstly, it is a heritage city, so there are many forts and UNESCO World Heritage Site. And recently, in 2019, the old walled city of Jaipur has been integrated in the UNESCO World Heritage. Secondly, if we see the cuisine of Jaipur, it is very good, particularly the dal bati churma, it is very famous. Thirdly, we see the environment in the important areas. For example, Charana Leopard Safari. It is one of the major areas for leopard, and there is the Algard Biological Park. And apart from it, there are many lakes, particularly migratory birds visit, for example, Chennai Lake. And if we see the religious significance of Jaipur, there are many famous temples. For example, Shila Mata Temple.
Okay, okay. So as a tourist, because Jaipur is a tourist hub of India, and every year millions of tourists visit Jaipur. So if you have to see from the tourism perspective, what are the three areas you would like to improve in Jaipur?
So the three major areas that I would like to improve. Firstly, I would like to, as a tourism policy, I would like to design circuit tourism that would be there. For example, if a person wants to visit all the religious areas, then during one day he could plan and have to visit all those areas, and we want to visit the heritage site. Secondly, protection of the tourists should be given importance, and major translators and important areas, there should be police stations which are providing multilingual facilities. Thirdly, guide, for example, use of locals as a guide and proper training, short-term training for people that could help in employment of the youth and also increase the economy of Jaipur. So these are the three things.
Jaipur in particular, I mean Rajasthan and in particular Jaipur as well. Which country, from which country we see maximum tourists coming to, especially Rajasthan? Any idea you have?
Yes, sir.
Your father is still working in All India Radio. So he has been working as an announcer, right? Okay. So what's his name?
His name is Mr. Balakrishna.
Okay. And what program he's doing right now? Any specific program?
So he's doing the agriculture program called KPP Mata, and the program is a shift changes as per the schedule of the organization.
Okay, okay. Do we have any specific program or channel under All India Radio specifically for agriculture in India?
Sir, about that I'm not aware about, but during any general program, there are specific programs, for example, that are dedicated to farmers, and there are agriculture experts, so they come and directly have a talk with farmers, or if there is any query, they tend to give the solutions. So these are various indicators.
There is a evolution of podcast in the recent time. So how do you see podcast? Do you see as a competitive? I mean, first of all, what is the difference between podcast and a radio? The second is, how do you see? I mean, do they compete with radio, or they just complement the radio system?
So podcast is the latest innovation. It is there a person or there is an interview or some important discussion is there that is recorded and posted as a podcast. So I don't see it as a competition, but rather it is a technology and add-on to the radio services. For example, the All India Radio has already started its own podcast. For example, the Spotlight program, which the major interviews with the panel experts is there. So there are some important discussions. So it is a add-on and a new add-on to the technology.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that radio has become popular over the years, or due to the competition coming from the television industry, it is waning?
So earlier radio was the most important source of mass media, but with the coming of other mass media sources as television and Netflix and OTT platforms, the utility of radio has declined, but we cannot say that it has become redundant. For example, during our travel, we tend to listen to other radios, which is the prime source of entertainment. And also, All India Radio is the radio public service broadcaster under Prasar Bharati. So it covers over 99% of the territorial land and 92% of the population, which no other source of mass media covers. So its reach and authenticity is much wide. So it is also innovating itself, for example, podcasts and through the application that is run on the various iOS and other platforms. So it is innovating at on the par with it. You're an engineer, right?
And you chose a geology as an optional. Any particular reason why geology, and how geology is different from geography? Is it a subset of geography, or what are, specifically from an academic point of view?
Sir, I chose geology because if we see during my third year of engineering, I was particularly doing a project on exploration of hydrocarbons in the state of Rajasthan. From there, I came to know about various geological settings, and I was interested in the field. So I studied and pursued it as an option because of my interest. And if we see its difference from geography, geography is a more holistic branch which studies atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and all the components. While geology is the detailed study of the lithospheric part, rock formation, and the other geological systems.
Okay. Recently, lithium has been discovered in which place? And lithium is a very important component, especially for future technology-based industry. Now, that discovery that we have found, do you think as a geology student that we have more such possibilities if we are able to explore and find such areas? And if there are such areas, can you pinpoint as a student which areas we should be further exploring?
So there can be several areas. For example, the Geological Survey of India is also finding through various geophysical surveys and other technologies that are involved. Particularly, we see in the Himalayan belt, as it is the tectonically active zone, it has major stress zone. There might be potential reserves there that have not been explored. And if we see the dense forest covers that are there in the region, for example, in the Madhya Pradesh region, in the Aravallis and in the Vijayanagar belts, in the northeast region, there can be many potential reserves of various continents.
So why do you think that India has not made a good effort in that area? Do you think that we should explore further? Because India is maybe in many areas, India is an energy deficient country.
So India has not made subsequent development in those areas, but particularly because of the forest cover, we are not able to identify, and also the terrain is so difficult to reach. And secondly, with the coming of latest technology, for example, LiDAR, light detection and ranging, we are able to scan through the dense forest and identify the potential. And also, if we see the development should go hand in hand with the environment protection. So, on the sustainability point of view, India is balancing the need between the development and sustainability. And with the coming of latest technology, we are able to have more sustainable development and mining of resources. So, India will proceed in that.
One thing that you mentioned is about geological surprises that country might have to see, because any resource in a maybe seismically difficult zone or maybe active zone would be a challenge. So what approach should be followed in that area, especially you want to explore further?
So for that, there is an organization called the Geological Survey of India under the Ministry of Mines. So long-term and short-term policies could be designed which could focus on sustainability and also focus on making India energy independent. And also, if we see the collaborations could be made with major nations that have abundant resources, and we are able to streamline and also get resources from those nations. So we need to work on two fronts. First is the international collaboration, and second is development of abundant resources in our own nation.
In your subject of geology, the sea surface discovery or research is also is a part of the learning.
Sir, in geology, we find the major resources, mineral resources that are there on the seabed. And also, for example, there are manganese nodules that are an important part, and also due to the classification and due to the hydrothermal fluids, there are many dense metals that are found on the seabed. So, we study for.
So, seabed discovery is another area where India has just received permission to do that deep sea mining. But deep sea mining comes with its own challenges and surprises in future. Do you think India should explore that area, or should we rather be more maybe cautious in that zone because it might create future challenges?
Sir, because of many challenges, we should not stop from exploring the mineral resources. For example, in the exclusive economic zone, there are over 200 million square kilometers of area, and Indian Ocean is particularly rich in manganese nodules. There would be potential shale gas reserves and other coal methane sources. So we should focus on harvesting those and also increase our spending on research and expenditure, and also collaborating with the major nations that have already developed the technologies to explore the deep sea and to mine the resources in a sustainable manner. So we should focus on it.
There is a cliched statement that is sustainability and sustainable development. Do you think that, in particular, especially in the recent 2-3 decades, this word has been repeatedly used? Do you think that it is more where we are using these words, but in real, in ground, on spirit, we are not putting real effort, because this will create future challenges, and as we can see, climate change is one big challenge. So, as a student of geology or maybe development, what measures that, and I'll be more specific, what measures in the real form India should be doing, especially to meet our energy needs?
So there has been cases where the term sustainable is not being implemented, or it is not implemented in letter and spirit, and there are cases that we tell that sustainable should be there and we are not using at all. For example, there was a case, for example, sustainable foods are there, but if we see the background, there is a lot of fossil fuel or greenhouse gas emissions in the development of those sources of use. So we need to have a strict policy on that, and implementations of the rules that are there in the nation that should be followed. Mm-hmm. So secondly, there should be increase of awareness to the local people. For example, there was a case in Mekong River. The community there, they catch fish on the half of the river, and half of the river is gone free. So the local fish is able to breed and develop there. So sustainability means that we are meeting our current demands and also giving a chance to nature to develop its own resources. Mm-hmm. And if we see, there was an example earlier in the Raja Ampat Island in Southeast Asia. So when there was overhunting of shark, it led to the decrease in the income of the local fishermen. But when certain areas, 1/3 of the area was declared as a protected reserve and with sharks appearing, the natural fish population already also increased. Mm-hmm. So this shows that if we focus on sustainability, our own income and our own facilities will also increase. We will have to have a better environment. So we should focus on it.
Okay. Wonderful. Coming to, as you mentioned that there is your academic bent towards choosing optional came from the hydrocarbon studies that was a part of your curriculum in the academics, right? Rajasthan is seen as a source of huge hydrocarbon energy sources. And there was a company called Kane Energy. Okay. Can you tell me what was the issue in that related to the Kane Energy that India witnessed?
So Rajasthan is particularly producing 9 million metric tons per annum of oil, and it is the second largest after Bombay High region. There are 4 major zones, which are the Bikaner zone, the Jaisalmer zone, and the Barmer-Sachor region, and the Hadoti belt. So these are the major oil producing regions. There was a dispute between Kane Energy and ONGC regarding the rights over a particular energy. The exact issue I am not able to recall, but there was a dispute.
Do you know the concept of retrospective taxation?
So the retrospective taxation means that a tax is implied on the back end or before time or before the implementation of the particular law. So it is called retrospective.
So Kane Energy, so government imposed a retrospective taxation on them, especially because they had not paid capital gains tax. Okay, so that was the case basically. In the field of electrical engineering, 21st century, we are living in 21st century. So electrical engineering mein what innovations or development, particularly that you see is coming or is a part of the innovation?
So, first major development of the 21st century was the development of lithium-ion batteries. It is the bedrock technology for the further exploration of electric vehicles, and it is a major game changer after the lead-acid batteries. So, second is the development of the solar PV modules and the harnessing of solar energy and the renewable energy part. So, these are the two major innovations that I see in the 21st century.
Okay. You chose electrical engineering and you did it from MNIT Jaipur. Any particular reason why did you choose electrical engineering?
Sir, when I did 12th, it was among a set of options, and on the basis of my rank and advice from my seniors, I chose it.
Okay, fair enough. In 2012, you achieved first prize in essay writing. What was the topic of the essay?
So the topic was birds in paradise.
Birds in paradise. And your hobby is very unique, that is birding. Now, can you tell me the important bird species who visit the Keoladev National Park, that is Bharatpur National Sanctuary? Can you tell me a few important bird species who migrate from other parts of the world?
Sir, the Keoladev National Park hosts over 370 species of bird, and it is one of the astonishing sights to bird watching. So the migration usually starts in the month of October. So the first arrivals are the geese from the Siberia, which is the grey-leg geese and the bar-headed geese. And subsequently we see ducks from many European nations as Gadwall, Pintail, Shoveler, Reddish-hand duck, also called as Hungry duck. So these are the major arrivals. If we see in the mighty storks and cranes, white stork is a regular visitor to the park. It is again from the European nations. And if we see the cranes, the demoiselle crane, the common crane, and the critically endangered Siberian crane used to come to the park. And if we see later, in the later phase, as small fish are being eaten by the ducks and other species. So to catch the big fish, we have pelican that arrive later in the park, particularly the Dalmatian pelican, the rosy pelican, and the great white pelican. And apart from it, many raptors are also regular visitors to the park. For example, the Steppe's eagle, the honey buzzard, and also other.
There is a species called Amur falcon.
Yes, sir.
So, do they also visit this park or not?
No, sir. They start from Mongolia to Nagaland and then they go to Madagascar and surroundings.
Okay, fair enough. So, birds when they come, they bring their droppings also, right? So, how the droppings? Is it a challenge to manage the droppings, or do they enrich that particular area?
Sir, there is a complete cycle. For example, the droppings are rich in various things as nitrogen and phosphate resources, so they support the algae and other basic insects and other species. So it is a complete food chain. Particularly, the droppings are not of as economic use, but if we see the guano droppings in the South American region, they are of particularly rich and used as a particular resource. But here, they are of no particular use. It is a sustainable part of the environment. They go in the continuous cycle.
Okay. You did your 10th from Nalanda Academy. So this Nalanda Academy, where is this? This is in Jaipur?
No, sir. This is in Kota.
Kota. Okay. So you did it there and you prepared for the JEE, right? IIT JEE prepared. So did you actually visited the school and studied properly in the Nalanda Academy or no?
Sir, I visited as
a regular student. So can you tell me the significance of Nalanda in the ancient history?
So Nalanda was a very important site which was established by the Gupta rulers, particularly Kumara Gupta first. It was a major site and a learning center for various fields, for example, astronomy, engineering, science, health, and people from all around over the world. And particularly the foreign travelers have many accounts of the astonishing center of the Nalanda. Like Fahiyan and Yun Sang visited the center and taken the learning to the various parts of the world. So it was one of the epicenter and one of the latest technology centers of their time, study centers of their time.
Okay. Coming to the policy of exploration in India, we had earlier NELP, right? And today we have?
So I think we have
HELP. So what is the difference? Cumulatively, how NELP is different from HELP? And what is the role of private player here?
So I'm not able to remember the exact difference, but I have a vague idea. For example, the licensing system was eased and granted to private players in the new policy, and there was a collaboration, but I don't remember that exactly.
Okay. Birding. What do you mean by birding?
So birding, also known as bird watching, it is a form of citizen science where a person is interested in birds. He likes to observe the various colors of birds, particularly during the plumage season, as the color of the bird changes during the mating season, the feeding habits of a particular bird, the life cycle, and also how a particular bird migrates from one area to another. So it is a science and study related to birds.
So do you follow specifically some person or people, or it is a hobby that you follow at your own level?
Sir, as I was born in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, so I am a regular visitor to Tilawar National Park from a very young age. There are many other senior bird watchers and photographers that I am in contact with. They taught me about how to identify a particular bird, and from there I read some books, and with the help of seniors, I'm able to do birding and continue as a hobby.
Okay. Do you maintain a camera? You take pictures? That is also you do?
No, sir, I don't take pictures. I have a binocular and like to observe birds and identify its patterns.
Okay. So birds, they have a whole ecosystem, and there's a lot to learn. So as a humans, what we can learn from the bird ecosystem?
So we can learn many things from birds. First is the punctuality. We can adopt it in our lifestyle, like they are early risers and they go to bed or go to nest before sunset or around it. Secondly, cleanliness we can learn. No bird is ever dying of a disease or any leech. So they are very clean animals. Third is team building. For example, when the geese cross the mighty Himalayas, they form in a V-shaped pattern, and the weak birds are in the between, and the juveniles are in between, and the strong birds are at the points or the top. So they work as a team. Or also, seven sisters, also called as general peppers, they are in a group of seven. So they work in a team. Fourthly, we can learn the tallness level. For example, in Tilawar National Park, there are bamboo trees. It is a famous tree because of the flexibility of the branches, and there are many species of birds. For example, the big species as storks, if they make nests, so they cannot make many nests on a particular tree. So several other small species of birds, for example, cormorants and other species, they live in harmony with each other. So these are many things that we can learn from birds.
Okay. And the last question of the day today. Why do you want to get into services?
Sir, I wanted to get in services. I got this position while working in Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, as I was a part of this initiative during my first and second year of engineering. So from there, I felt that while being in services, the amount of social service and the impact that I can have on people is much wider than any other service. And apart from it, I think that it is a great career option. And the satisfaction that I can get from being in services and help in the policy making of the nation is of immense importance, and I wanted to pursue it as a career.
Okay, the extension of the last question. Can you specifically tell me the areas where you would want to work in future?
So specifically, as it is a very diverse job, so any field I get, I am more than happy to work. But as I currently know, as I study geology, so in the mineral exploration field, if I am appointed in the mines department, I'll be more than happy to work. As I'm an electrical engineer, so in the Ministry of Power and in the Ministry of Renewable Energy, I have a better understanding because it is according to my curriculum. So I am happy to work, and also birding is my hobby. So if I'm posted in forest department, so I'll be more than happy to work. But apart from that, if I'm posted in any department, I'll be more than happy to work.
Okay. Thank you, Madhav. Yeah. Come forward. Yeah. Just pull the chair. Sir ko bola. Madhav, preparation is good. Your communication is good. You have good command over the subject, right? So